Hi everyone. I just wanted to give a quick update on what's going on with the campaign, but more importantly is to give an idea of how you can actually take action right now, considering, well, the Citizenship Act has been introduced, and the best thing we can do right now is to try and build support for this bill. Right now, there's also different articles showing that, well, that different organizations are trying to lobby and pressure Republican and more conservative members of Congress to not support the bill. So right now is a very important time to actually organize ourselves and try to push for this reform as it is in a comprehensive form rather than letting it be broken down or let it get stalled to the point that we can't do anything because we're too close to the next election cycle. So really the first update I want to give is about the state of the campaign in terms of the petition that we have that we've been circulating. And I'm happy to say that we're already over 5,200 signatures. I believe the latest number is 5,256. So we're getting around to having quite a bit. I'm going to share the information for the petition below. It's very easy to find. It's just change.org/citizenship 2021. I do need to update it with the new information since we're no longer with just a proposal. We have the actual bill introduced and we have the bill text that I did cover slightly this past Saturday and Sunday to give more details of who was eligible and who's not for relief. Now, the next piece I do want to cover is about how do you actually take action, because this is going to be a question that's asked quite a bit going forward, and it's important to know what you can do, the different steps that you can take. Obviously, the most simple and straightforward one that you can do is to sign the petition. Right? Again, I'll have it run on the bottom here, is to sign it and then share it with people that you know who would also support the act. This is really the fastest way that you can support the campaign and support the bill, because being able to show how many people actually support the act is one way we can pressure representatives to push forward with this. As well as if they decide to take a different approach, which means to break apart the act to make sure that each piece of the USCA is still pushed forward. So really that's the first step that you can take to support right now. Additionally, I'm going to run another one across the bottom of the screen here, but it is two different steps that you can take. You can also call or email your representative right now and let them know where you're from, what kind of constituent you are, and that you support the act. I'm going to quickly share my screen just to kind of show you what this looks like on our campaign website, because we did prepare some steps to help you understand how to quickly just pick up the phone, find out find out who your representative is, find out their contact details, and then be able to call them directly. So if you look here, it is really just that. We kind of outlined the different things that you can do. So whether it's to just call your rep, right? Whether it's your U.S. House rep, because you do have both your House of Representative, or your U.S. Senator. You can find their contact information by following the step-by-step in those different tabs. You can, again, sign and share our petition. That's also one way that you can support. Or if you have a personal story, I would also love it if you can share it with us, because having stories that to go along with policy is one of the best ways to actually have it mean something and connect with the general population, because that is also very important when it comes to immigration reform, is to remind people that this isn't just an abstract concept or abstract group of people who we're trying to get help for. It's their neighbors, their families, their classmates. These are people that we all know throughout our life, and they're just here needing help. Really, if you can share your story, and again, I put the hashtags there, right? Hashtag Citizenship 2021 or hashtag USCA 2021. There's also an extra one, I believe it's immigration reform, scrolling on the bottom, please feel free to share your story. I also have it set up on a website where it's shared automatically. So people, if they visit it, they can see all the different tweets, posts that we have coming out. Additionally, it is about building momentum and awareness of this issue as a whole. And this is one way that we're able to do that. Now, just to quickly show you what this looks like, if you were to click to sign our petition, which, by the way, if you visit our website, everything's there, including a link to the petition. If you were to click on it, it would take you straight to our petition page. My view is a little bit different than what you would see. It would most likely say to just sign this petition rather than promote this petition. But if you're interested in learning a little bit more about it, you can definitely read. It's a bit more of my personal story of why I'm fighting for this, and I'm sure others can relate to my reason for this. But also, I want to kind of show here, please, if you're signing it, also make sure to leave a reason of why you're signing. It definitely helps, and I love whenever someone shares their reason because I get to share it elsewhere. I share it across Twitter, I share it across Facebook, your reason for supporting this act. But this is what the petition page looks like, and definitely share it when possible. Now, in terms of actually contacting your rep, how you can actually take action right now on our website, right? Again, the website link is right there. So just very easy to find citizenship2021.org/action. On this page, you have the different ways to take action. If we were to click on contact my house rep, you'll see here I'll have the exact steps of how do you find them, right? So this will take you straight to the government's actual registry, where you can just put in your zip code. As simple as that, just put in your zip code and it'll bring you their information that you need to be able to contact them. And once you have, you have their name, you can find their contact info right here on a different directory. It is a little bit of a longer process, unfortunately. I'm not 100% sure why sometimes it's so difficult to really reach out to your representative, but we make do with what we can. And here I've left you all a very small script if you need one. Otherwise, feel free to change it however you need. Includes one of your personal stories if you'd like to make it more personal. That would also be amazing to include. And yeah, so this is just saying that you support the Citizenship Act of 2021 and that you urge your representative to do so as well. And of course, once you're done doing this, make sure to share that you've done this. Same hashtags, right? Hashtag Citizenship 2021, USCA 21, or immigration reform. That'd be an amazing thing to do. Similar steps are for the how to contact your U.S. senator. You just do the same thing. Click in, and same way, click to find my senator. They'll give you their name. I believe for the senators, it's a much easier process to actually get their phone number and even how to contact them by email, which is, by the way, just to caution, a lot of senators and especially U.S. House representatives do not leave a direct email to them or even to their staffer. You have to go through their website, through a separate contact us form, which then you just fill out with your message and that would be sent over. Definitely still go through with this. It does help to build momentum, and they have to log it and keep track of the different issues that are being raised. So this should land on their radar relatively easily. And especially if we know that different organizations are going to be pressuring, especially Republican representatives. If you are in a state where you have a Republican House representative or a Republican senator, especially in the Senate, please make sure to call, make sure to just tell them that you support this and that they need to as well. We have to be able to not only keep and hold to account our Democratic representatives, but we have to make sure that we get enough Republican support as well for this bill. And it has to be public support. It can't just be on the down low and it's not made publicly aware. And so that is really the different ways to take action right now on our end in terms of our campaign. I will be organizing sort of a day 2 call where I'll be live. I'll be calling different offices. Feel free to join in with me and do the same. But up until that point, I do want to mention that there is something else going on that came to my awareness. And so if you know someone who is a faith leader, right? So in your community, regardless of the religion, definitely ask them to sign this letter. It is by the Lutheran Church, but it is also open to any religious or faith leader to sign. They are going to be sending this letter to Congress, stating their support publicly by February 26th is the date, the cutoff to sign, and that's when it will be sent. So please make sure, if you know a faith leader in your community and they are not already penning a letter to send out. I simplified the URL because it is just a Google Doc where they're collecting signatures. So it's right here, tinyurl.com/faithUSCA. So if you can just direct them to this letter, have them sign it, it literally takes less than 2 or 3 minutes to complete. And that will be sent off on the 26th. I'll be reaching out to the organizers for this letter to see if we can also include our petition of over 5,000 people to go along with it, to really make a very big show of support for the USCA. So that is really the summary of the sort of like where we are as a campaign in terms of what we're doing, how you can actually take action now, and really another opportunity to build support around this. Aside from that, I also wanted to cover just really general changes to this campaign, because we need to be able to change and adapt and to really build up the support we need for this act right now. We're on a very time crunch, limited time to get this moving. So the first thing is I will be handling more standalone videos where I explain what is the USCA, what does it cover, and the exact details of each title and section of the act. This is going to really be helping to explain the more basic details of what we're fighting for, making sure that those are met, and especially if the Democratic Party decides to go along this route where they're breaking it apart in a more piecemeal approach, sort of like how the DREAM Act was introduced separately by a Democratic senator and Republican senator, which is perfectly fine. But I always say is to just be careful that to help one portion of the population, we're not damning the rest of them. So I'll be making these videos, publishing them. Definitely, if you know someone who will benefit from at least learning about the what's going on with immigration reform, definitely share it out with them. That would help immensely. And also, if you want to kind of be aware of when these are published, just make sure, as it's scrolling down the bottom, subscribe to the YouTube channel version of this. Right, it's simply, you just have to search on their reform review, and you should find one of the videos that we've already produced. Right, a lot of these live streams are also streamed on YouTube, and so they are kept there as a recording and archive for the campaign and just in general what we're talking about. So definitely, please make sure to subscribe to that. Once we hit a certain threshold, we'll be able to change the rather long URL to something more simple, which will make it much easier to share with other people so that they can also find the channel. So it's very important to get that going. But aside from that, of course, it's the importance of being able to be notified when these videos are produced, so you can get the most accurate information out there. I try and do as much of a legal review as possible. Although I don't have a background in law, I do have a background in policy, social policy, with more of a focus on immigration and its connection to education. So I do my best, and then I also kind of review other legal experts' review of the act to then include that in there as well. So definitely check it out, and that's really what we're going to be working on the side. Lastly, if you've joined us on Saturdays and Sundays, you know that we have the Reform Review, Saturday being in English, Sunday in Spanish. There are going to be some small changes to this, not in terms of timing for now, but in terms of the structure of it. Regularly, I've been, the first one we had a guest on. The second one, which was this past weekend, was dedicated to the USCA to talk about the eligibility requirements and who qualifies for different routes of relief. So going forward, what this is going to look like is somewhat similar. We're going to cover sort of the main immigration news of the week, just to see, just to give an overview of beyond the USCA, what is happening in the world of immigration. We'll also cover any updates on the USCA if there's been increased support for it. If we finally have Republican support for it, that'd be great. And any other related bills, for example, the DREAM Act, would definitely be covered in that same section. So again, Section 1 is going to be about general immigration news of the week. Section 2 will be an update on the reform itself, whether that is in the comprehensive form, the USCA, or in standalone bills like the DREAM Act and others. Additionally, I'm going to throw it up here. There's going to be a new segment called the Action Report, which is essentially what I did earlier. We're going to talk about the state of the petition, whether there's other organizations actively trying to also build support, and I'll definitely link them and direct you to them wherever possible. And also if there's any sort of grassroots organizations working and has kind of provided that information, I would definitely advertise it out for them, so that way you're aware. And I'll also include sort of like where you can find them. So if you're close by, you can definitely connect with them and take action in that way as well. So that's really what is going to be included in this action report. And lastly, if we have any guests, there'll be more at the end. Or if we want to do a special segment, again, similar to when I was going through the details of the USCA, I could also section it off at the end to make sure we discuss that in more detail. And so that kind of leaves me off with just a reminder. Please check out the website for the campaign, citizenship2021.org. It has all of this information about how you can take action. I'm going to be updating it again to have all of this new information of the act. Again, I'm still reading through it. I'm a one-man team, so that is 353 pages of reading and taking notes and then preparing it in a digestible format so you're aware of what's changing and what possibility can come from this. So definitely just check it out. I'm going to be updating, and again, try and subscribe to the YouTube channel because that means you'll be able to be notified when we have more videos with very specific details on the act and other reform coming up and down the line. So again, that's all really for this impromptu live session. And yeah, I hope that you can join me again Saturdays and Sundays, Saturday in English, Sunday in Spanish, 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. So if you're California, state of Washington, at 1:30 p.m. If you're on the East Coast, that would be 4:30 p.m. If you're in New Jersey, New York, Florida, that area of the country. So definitely feel free to join in. And I always love to see you guys there. So thank you so much and see you next time.